though discuss the sadhana part, meaning the actual spiritual practice and the attitude, the state of mind that a spiritual seeker should have is not discussed much, even if discussed itastataha, here and there. But this book, rather than focusing on the Siddhanta part, it discusses the sadhana, the spiritual practice, which the aspirant needs to have, needs to carry, and therefore this is a very important text. And I would say that this is a text which every monk, every sannyasi should carry as a lantern walking through the stormy nights. The text, as usual, as is the tradition, opens with a stanza of prayer. This prayer is called as Mangala Charanam, meaning an action which is able to generate the auspiciousness through which the difficulties and obstacles which may prevent one from accomplishing the successful study, the fruitful study of any text are overcome. So those who have the text with them, the book with them, it would be really good to follow it line by line. It may not be possible to have the regular practice of lead and follow when it comes to those chanting of the lines, because it would not be required in most of the places. So I will simply read the stanzas or even the prose section and try to explain as I can, as per my capacity. Om Yasya Nishvasitam Veda Yo Vedebhyo Khilan Jagat Nirmame Tamaham Vande Vidyatirthamaheshwaram. Vidyaranya Swami offers his salutations to Paramatma, who is in the form of his Guru. When asked what is the defining feature of Paramatma, of Brahman, the Brahma Sutras have answered it in 2 sutras. Bhagavan Vedavyasa over there says, Janmadhyasya yataha, and then Shastrayonitvat. 2 things. what is the lakshanam, what is that defining feature of Ishvara to whom you are saluting? So one feature is Paramatma is that principle from whom this world which we are experiencing has emerged. That principle in which the world continues to exist, and that principle to which the world goes back when dissolved. Janmadhyasya yataha. And then the second feature is Parameshwara, Paramatma, is that principle from whom the Shastra, meaning the Vedas, have come. Another thing about this Vedas is Veda is that yoni or that karanam because of which the Paramatma is known. So now Shastra Yonitvat, this is the sutra, the third sutra of the Brahma Sutra. Over there, the word Shastra Yoni is used to say what Parameshwara is. How would this word Shastra Yoni be deciphered? So Shastra means the Veda, first of all. Then because it is a compound word, and a compound word will be consisting of more than one word. It could be 2 or 3 words or even more. But over here, Shastra and Yoni, these are the 2 words which are used to form the compound. Like how we have the compound word in English, car park. So there are 2 words, car and the park. So they make a compound word. Like that, you have this compound word, Shastra Yoni. Shastra Yoni, to understand this word, the compound will be deciphered is the Vigraha will be Shastrasya Yoni. This is the first thing. And the second will be Shastram Yoni Yasya Sa Shastra Yonihi. Okay. Shastrasya Yoni, that which is the very cause of the Shastras, that which is the very cause of the Shastras, of the Veda. And the second one is, we do not say that Parameshwara is author of the Shastras. Over here, it is not said that Ishvara is the author. No. Or we do not even say that the Veda is something like a message sent by Ishvara. No, it is not a sandesha. It is not a message. Okay. So, Shastrasya Yonihi, Shastrasya Karanam iti. The cause of the Shastra, the first meaning. The second one is Shastra is the cause for knowing Paramatma. What is Paramatma? That which what can be known only through the Shastra is Parameshwara. Okay? So now it means Shastra Eka Gamya. How is this Parameshwara? is accessible only through the Shastra. Now somebody is going to raise an objection and he is going to say, how do you even claim that? So we have a simple explanation for this. Just as the colors and forms are known only by the visual faculty, the colors and forms are known through the eyes, and there is no other cause through which the knowledge of colors and forms can ever take place. Similarly, how is this Paramatma known? Because knowing Parameshwara, one overcomes all the suffering, all the grief, all the misery, and therefore, now who is this Paramatma? The one who is known only through the Shastra. Just as colors and forms can be known only through the eyes, there is no replacement to it. You cannot replace your olfactory faculty. You cannot replace the nose. You cannot replace the eyes with the nose. You cannot make the nose function as the eyes. You cannot make the gustatory faculty function as the eyes. Gustatory faculty will illumine only the taste. It cannot illumine colors and forms, no matter how sharp your gustatory faculty is, or how sharp the olfactory faculty is. In order to know the colors and forms, one will require only the visual faculty. Similarly, Veda is that faculty, is that means of knowledge through which Paramatma is known. So who is Paramatma? That what is known through the Veda is Brahman. No, but then we will know him, we will know God through some other means. Whatever you may know through any other means, we are not concerned. But that will not be Brahman. You can know whatever. But we can say, by knowing Brahman, one thing can definitely happen. And that is, all the suffering comes to an end. And therefore, if you want this, if this is your prayojanam, if you have found this is your purpose, then you will have to take refuge in the Shastra alone. Just as when you want to know colors and forms, you cannot go to the ears, nose, or the gustatory faculty or the tactual faculty. You will have to take refuge in the eyes, in the visual faculty. Similarly, if you want to know Brahman, knowing which the suffering comes to an end, you will have to resort to the Vedas. But what are these Vedas? So the same word, Shastra Yoni, allows you to understand what is Veda. Veda is that which is born from Parameshwara, not authored, is born. So now look at this shloka. The inaugural shloka has brought both these aspects to us from the Brahma Sutra. Both these aspects of Parameshwara. What is the one? Jagat Karanam. Jagat meaning this whole world which you are experiencing, and along with the world of objects that one is experiencing, we experience sukham and dukkham. Okay? So on a hot day, when you get a nice cool glass of water to drink, there is sukham. Okay? There is sukham. So this experience of sukham from the object which is there is also the world now which is there around you is meant to deliver you the experiences of sukham and dukkham. So the world has a prayojana around you. That means the situations in which you are, they have a prayojanam. The situations have a prayojanam. The objects and things which are around you, they have a purpose, and that purpose is to allow you to experience sukha and dukkha. Why would one experience sukha and dukkham? Depending upon the actions that one has performed. If the action that was performed was right, appropriate, correct, then the result would be right, appropriate, or correct. In order to have the right result, one will require the right cause. So the cause and the result, cause and the effect, there is a relationship. Over here, action is the cause, and experience of the sukha and dukkha is the effect. So if the action was punya karma, dharma, its result will be sukham. And if the action was in any way papa karma, its result will be dukkham. Now, depending upon how intense the punya was, or depending upon how intense the papa was, we will experience the intensity of sukha and dukkha also. So now, what is it that has determined this relationship of the object and its experience? The world and its experience that the person is now experiencing. So over there, we say this relationship of punya karma and its result sukham, papa karma and its result dukkham is determined by the Veda. And this Veda is something that has emerged from Parameshwara. So this world is a perfect mechanism, and therefore, it is in tandem with the knowledge which has emerged from Ishvara. How has this Veda come? So here he says, Yasya Nishvasitam Veda. What are these Vedas? These are the Nishvasa. The Vedas are the very breath of Parameshwara. Now, the inhalation and exhalation, which is the breath of a living person, is not something which the living person does. If you have to do breathing, that means there is a problem. there is a problem. If there is any effort involved in breathing or any will involved in breathing, it would be a problem. If you have to exert any effort to breathe, it would be considered a problem. You would immediately want to see a doctor. So here, just as breathing, which is natural to any living person, emergence of Veda from Ishvara is also as natural and effortless like that. So these Vedas have emerged from this Ishvara, and the world is also has come from Ishvara, which means Ishvara is the ultimate cause of the world. Ultimate cause of the world. Immediately you are going to say, well, if this table is a wooden table in front of me, the cause of this wooden table is wood, and that wood has come from the trees. The tree has come from the earth, and the earth, then you can go on saying, has come from, once upon a time, then, how the Big Bang and so on and so forth. But ultimately, what is the cause of all this? It goes to Ishvara. And therefore, this Ishvara has brought this world into existence for us to experience. And these experiences are also not random. These experiences depend on the karma which we have previously done. Okay? Previously done means if the world was not there, where would we go and do this karma? It means the world which is there, which is being presently experienced, before this, in another frame of time, in another yuga, there was, or in another time cycle, the world was there where the karma was done, and therefore now the world has come into existence to deliver us the result of those karmas, and it continues from life after life. So now, who is Ishvara? Ishvara, defining Ishvara as or Parameshvara, we have these two things. Yasya nishvasitam vedaha yo vedebhyo khilam jagat nirmame, has nirman kiya nirmame. Tamaham vande, I bow down to Ishvara, to Paramatma. And who is, now he gives that name, Vidya Tirtha Maheshwaram. And this Ishvara now appears in my life, comes to me as the teacher who has delivered the Vedas, and the one who also delivers you the knowledge of the Vedas. So who is it? The teacher. Vidya Tirtha Maheshwaram. Shri Vidyaranya Swami's teacher is Bharati Tirtha, and Bharati Tirtha's teacher is Vidya Tirtha. Even if you go today to Sringeri, or from the tradition from where Vidyaranya Swami comes, you will see this. So he bows down to the teacher, saying that you are indeed this Ishvara alone who has come to reveal yourself through the words of Veda, by showing the meaning of those sentences of the Veda. So Ishvara himself, as if descends down for the disciple as the teacher, and therefore I bow down to Ishvara in form of Vidya Tirtha. He is that Maheshwaram. Now, the Sanskrit commentaries have gone into explaining the word Vidya Tirtha. So they have said the word Vidya means knowledge, and Tirtha, we all understand in our common parlance, Tirtha means, don't think about a pot from where, the water is dropped and then, you go and sip it in the temple. That is called Tirtha. Yeah, that also is Tirtha. But Tirtha also means the sacred water. One thing, the sacred water. The word Tirtha etymologically will mean that Tiryate anena iti tirthaha, that by which one crosses over is called as tirtha. What is it that is crossed over? Samsara Sagara is crossed over. The ocean of samsara, this never-ending chain of sorrows, misery, which is this samsara, is crossed over, and that is called as tirtha. So what has become the means for you to cross over? Vidya, knowledge. So this Vidya Tirtha Maheshwaram, so this Ishvara has come as this knowledge, in form of knowledge, to that allows me to cross over, go over the samsara sagara. So to this Maheshwara, to this great Ishvara, Aham Vande, I bow down. So in the very beginning of the text, the prayer is offered, and this kind of a prayer is called as Mangala Charanam. Okay, so this first verse is the words of Mangala Charanam, and we will follow the tradition of chanting the first verse, this Mangala Charanam, before we commence our class every time we meet, and to end the class, to end our session every time. So beginning and at the end, Mangala Charanam should be done. Now, furthermore, let's go to the next verse. Vakshe vividishanyasam vidvanyasam cha bhetataha hetu videha muktescha jivanmuktescha tau kramat. Now the teacher announces what is he going to discuss. What, in the sense, discuss over here, what has he written? So teacher says, Vakshe. He says as Vakshe means I shall speak. I shall speak, I shall explain. Vividishanyasam, vidvanyasam shubhedataha. I shall explain what is called as Vividisha Sannyasa and what is called as Vidvat Sannyasa, and will explain the difference between what is Vividisha Sannyasa and Vidvat Sannyasa. Both of them are Sannyasa. Sannyasa meaning renunciation. Renunciation. Don't just consider renunciation is something only done by the mind. Yes, there is renunciation basically that is required, which is a psychological, but also it is a lifestyle. Okay, so sannyasa, vakshe vividisha nyasam and vidvanyasam. I shall talk about the sannyas, which is called as vividisha sannyas, and sannyas, which is called as vidvat sannyas. Right? Both of them are sannyas. Well, though both of them are sannyas, there is some difference. Okay? And what is the major difference? This. Hetu. Hetu over here is in dual case. Hetu. Both of these are the hetus. Hetus meaning the causes. The causes. Hetu. Because the vividisha sannyasa is the hetu, is the cause of videha mukti, and vidvat sannyasa is the cause of Jivanmukti. Sequentially. So he kramat. So first vividisha sannyasa, and then we have this vidvat sannyasa. Because he has spoken about, going by that same sequence, what is the result of vidvat sannyasa? Videha mukti. What is the result of vidvat sannyasa? Jivanmukti. Similarly, we understand it from the other way. What is the cause of videha mukti? Vividisha sannyasa. What is the cause of Jivan Mukti? Vidvat sannyasa. So over here, mukti is now, whether it is videha or Jivan Mukti, in both the cases, sannyasa is essential. Okay. Now, we have already spoken here or elsewhere. This has been well emphasized that knowledge destroys the ignorance, and the bondage is of ignorance. The bondage is of ignorance. When the bondage is of ignorance, what is it that can bring the liberation? Knowledge, because bondage will be destroyed. Bondage of ignorance will be destroyed only by the knowledge. There is no other power or nothing else which can destroy ignorance other than the knowledge. Okay, for example, let us say, take the classic example of snake and the rope. Because you did not know it is a rope, you have perceived it as snake. And when you see that snake, how will that...
काय सांगतो ना, काय नाही, असं काय 1 मिनिटाने काय कळत नाही, त्याने काय नाही.
How will that snake be destroyed? Because you want that bhayam, the fear which has risen in you because of perceiving the snake, can go away only if the snake goes away. So how will the snake go away? Now somebody says, I will take a stick and drive it away. The one who wants to take a stick and wants to drive this particular snake away, would this snake go? if you are going to strike the stick on the, keep on striking the stick on the ground. So it is some sort of an action. Will this action, will this karma be, does it have the capacity, samarthyam, to remove the snake? No, it does not. Then somebody says, no, sir, let us pray to the snake that, hey Nagadevata, oh serpent god, please go away and come on Nagapanchami day, we will do your puja and accept my prayer. So somebody does this prayer. Is this prayer also going to take the snake away? No. Then the third person comes and says, oh, you are afraid of the snake? We will block the fear and the snake at once. How? Meditate. In samadhi, there is chitta vritti nirodha. So over there is neither, the snake is not seen, nor the fear coming from the snake is also experienced. Now, are you not free from the snake and the fear? Yes. Now open the eyes, it comes back again. So now you see, neither the karma, upasana, or samadhi, none of these are capable of removing the snake, giving you the freedom, because that snake over there, which is perceived, is because of ignorance. Ignorance and the effects of ignorance can be removed only by knowledge. So the moment you know it is a rope, how that knowledge takes place, you know, if the illumination in the room is increased, if, you light the lamp or something, and then you see it is a rope. So the knowledge has taken place, it is a rope. So this knowledge has not only removed the snake, but also the fear which was coming from the snake, because both of them are rising from ignorance. So that what is coming from ignorance, ignorance along with its effects can be removed only by knowledge. So what does knowledge do? Knowledge does nothing else other than removing the ignorance and its bacche kache. So over here, knowledge alone is capable of doing it. Then why are you saying that there is that simply knowing Atma is Brahman is sufficient enough to give liberation? Then why are you saying that for mukti, the hetu is also sannyasa? Because now we are saying sannyasa means, this is a very interesting part. Sarva karma sannyasa purvaka jnana. What is the sentence that we are going to say? Sarva karma sannyasa purvaka jnana moksho bhavati. The moksha takes place, mukti, liberation takes place through knowledge, which is done with sarva karma sannyasa. Why, sir? Because understand, karma has got these three results. What are the results of karma? What is it that the karma can deliver? Because karma is also a sadhanam. Karma can give you these three results: putra, vitta, and loka. Meaning progeny, wealth, and well-being in this world, as well as well-being in the celestial world, the other world too. ihaloka and paraloke, sukham. So one wants well-being. You are taken to Swarga. And if you have Prabala Punya, not only that you will be taken to Punya, what do they call Swarga, but Indra himself and all the Devatas, they come to welcome, sir, please come, please come. And that is what you want. Yeah. This is, so one wants well-being everywhere, here as well as hereafter. I want my well-being now, today, as well as tomorrow. So karma can give you these three things: putra, vitta, and loka. Okay. Though you may get putra, vitta, and loka, which is the result of karma, but it cannot assure you a total, absolute mitigation of dukkham. Remember, this is very, very important. It cannot assure you an absolute freedom from dukkham. So dukkham will follow even over there. Therefore, he who now desires absolute freedom from dukkham, he understands that karma cannot be the cause. Karma also becomes the hetu for one more thing, and that is chitta shuddhi. Karma becomes the cause for chitta shuddhi. So when you perform your actions with the attitude that my every action is the worship of Parmeshwara, that my every action, no matter how small and insignificant that action is, it is the worship of Parmeshwara. You are speaking to someone whom you dislike, and you know that this fellow is a rogue. Yet, this very awareness that even this action is my worship of Parmeshwara will protect you from falling into the trap of you becoming a rogue yourself. He is a rogue, it could be, but my action is worship of Parmeshwara. And therefore, I just to say that tit for tat or something like that, no, sir. I will retain what I have to do, what is appropriate for me to do. So you will not resort to any wrong form of action, definitely. And thus, the person is able to protect his heart from getting contaminated. And not only that, he protects his heart from protects his mind from getting contaminated. The contamination which was there previously and has come from several janmas also gets erased, washed away through this karma yoga. So karma becomes the means of chitta shuddhi when it is done without any desire for anything, only as your dedicated, devoted worship of Parmeshwara. Got it? So karma can I become the cause for putra vitta loka if done with a desire. Karma can become the cause of chitta shuddhi if done without any desire, accompanied by devotion. This is what the karma can give. Now comes a question: why do you need this chitta shuddhi? Why do you need this chitta shuddhi? So when the person is going to say, when the chitta is shuddha, the mind is at calm and peace. The mind is at calm and at peace. My question is, sir, why do you need a peaceful and calm mind? Oh, that is wanted. That is wanted because it is only in the peaceful mind, only in the non-agitated mind, knowledge can take place. So what was that even Chitta Shuddhi meant for? The Chitta Shuddhi is meant so that knowledge can take place, which is because if the mind is agitated and you employ the means of knowledge, something will take place, but it will be distorted knowledge. Agitated mind will create distorted knowledge. Distorted knowledge is not knowledge, it is an error. It is an error, and the whole problem of our life is the problem of this erroneous knowledge. Therefore, we need Chitta Shuddhi, which can be given by karma. Up to what point the karma is significant or required? So we are going to say up to the point the Chitta Shuddhi is required. After the Chitta Shuddhi takes place, all that we require is only knowledge. Don't say that if the Chitta is Shuddham, knowledge will take place by itself. No, sir. Knowledge takes place when the appropriate means of knowledge are employed. Knowledge takes place only when the appropriate means of knowledge are employed. Say, suppose, I will give you an example. If the person's mind is calm and unagitated, but if he keeps his eyes closed, will he have the knowledge of colors and forms? No. The mind is calm. Now, such a calm mind is required for accurate knowledge to take place. True. Very much true. But if you do not employ the means, knowledge would not take place. Therefore, those who are of that kind of a philosophy, that no, or if your mind is calm, knowledge will take place by itself. You will know Paramatma by yourself. No, sir, nothing like that happens. You require the Shastra Upadesha, the Guru Upadesha for knowledge to take place. So now, up to this point, the karma was required. Up to which point? Up to the point where the Chitta Shuddhi is required. Chitta Shuddhi meaning purification of the mind was required. Purification implies even calming down of the mind too. All these are there. Then, after this point, karma has got no role to play. When the means has got no role to play, you do not keep the means with you. You give it up. When you want to go to a village across the river, you take the boat. And when you reach the other shore, from where you have to take a bus, or you have to take some some, whatever, the car or a bullock cart to reach your destination. So then you give up the boat. Oh, why? Because the boat is the means to take you across the river. Up to that point, the boat was important, significant. And if you were not going to take the boat or give up the boat, you cannot even cross the river. Therefore, in order to gain the Chitta Shuddhi, karma is required. But beyond this point, karma becomes redundant and therefore karma is given up. This giving up of karma is called as sarva karma sannyasa. And therefore sannyasa from this point. So sarva karma sannyasa purvakat jnana. Sarva karma sannyasa purvakat jnanat moksho bhavati. This is the siddhanta. Therefore, now the teacher has said that whether the sannyasa is of vividisha sannyasa or vidvat sannyasa, it is sannyasa. So sannyasa purvakat jnanat moksho bhavati. But the sannyasa by itself, if it is sannyasa and there is knowledge, of course, moksha is going to take place. But if the sannyasa is of vividisha sannyasa, the moksha will be videha mukti. And if the sannyasa is vidvat sannyasa, it gives Jivanmukti. So now we have seen up to this point. Now we will have to know what is vividisha sannyasa and what is the videha mukti. Similarly, what is vidvat sannyasa and what is Jivanmukti? We have to know these things. We will come to it when we meet next. Till then, you can think about the means, which are karma as the means. What is its effect? Because if there is a means, there has to be the end. Jnanam is the means. What is the end? Okay? Think about it, and then there will be more clarity about sannyas. We will do the Mangalacharanam, then do the Shanti part, and close this session. Yasya nishvasitam vedah yo vedebhyo khilam jagat nirmametamaham vande vidyatirthamaheshwaram. Om Purnamataha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Padarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all. Thank you.